Go. Howdy, y'all. You know, relax. Have a good time. Alright, enough of that damn music. Howdy, y'all. How y'all doing today? Don't be afraid to chat. With me or amongst yourselves, it doesn't matter. By the way, welcome to the weekend. And a very important weekend for the year is also, we're going to be joining one way or the other through various different media sites, postings, this, that, and the other. One person by the name of Jay Mouton later this evening, as he auctions off several items for none other than St. Jude's and the Shriners hospitals. Both hospitals are doing lots and lots of work for children, and they are doing it at a extreme minimum of cost. And quite honestly, they depend upon donations, very much so, regularly. And Jay Mouton figured this would be what he would do on a more or less annual basis. And bravo, sir. I commend you on that effort. Should be going on about 7 o'clock Central Time. Howdy, Todd. Great to see you, sir. Haven't seen you in a while. Well, I've seen you a few times, but it's been a while since I've seen you at the tailgates. Hopefully all is going well. I know you've been having some issues with things. I'm not going to mention what those things are. If you feel like saying it, you can go right ahead. Just know that we're thinking about you. you and your family do realize that it's more than just you that's been affected as of late. And a lot of people pulling for you, brother. I'm one of them. Just saying. For those of you who are showing up here at the very beginning, I am going to be smoking a La Gloria Cubana Series R. That is about a 60 ring gauge, and let's call it, I'm going to say, yeah, it says 7-inch right there. Yeah, so, yeah, I guess that's about right. 7 inches. Not a problem, Todd. Not a problem. Glad to see that you're at least doing well enough that you can take some time out of your busy everything, be able to hang out with me. I do realize some of y'all are watching from work, or you are professional lurking. I get that a lot from both Phil and Martin from time to time. Howdy, Donnie. Great to see you, sir. Donnie is looking forward to soon being able to say, I am retired. Donnie, I do like him. I like him my own self. That's why I'm going to smoke one. Now, I didn't save it for last. Out of that package that Phil sent me, I didn't save it for last. I decided to save that that 1926 Padron for dead last. Well, if you ever had a 1926 Padron. Jim, howdy, sir. Oh, Jim got some cigars. Not a problem there, sir. Glad you won them. Did you smoke any yet, Jim, or is it just one of those, you just got them and you're going to let them sit? I personally always suggest letting things sit, at least for a week. If you know that they've been well handled and taken care of and that they're not going to be affected by their travel, you can try smoking them right away. Even the ones I got from Phil, which were only a 2-day travel, I let them sit for 2 weeks. But I kind of knew what I was doing there. Good. Yeah, kind of put them to rest. Let them take a nap. But luckily, that means you should be able to enjoy them come Christmas and New Year's. By the way, which ones did you get? I'm just trying to remind myself. There wasn't a bad cigar in the lot. Quite literally, there wasn't a bad cigar. There were some lesser cigars, but not bad. Okay, the Fuente 858, it's a lesser cigar. But as I've said many a time, it's highly underrated. And by underrated, I mean it's never going to be somebody's, oh my God, top 10. And I don't know why. It easily could be, it easily should be. But nobody ever says, oh yeah, that's a fantastic cigar. For a little lunchbox cigar that you're going to take yourself a hour break and tell the world, fuck off, I'm done with y'all for a little bit, you know what? It's a fantastic cigar. Yeah, Donnie, 858s are great cigars. And I will tell you, if you ever see the 858 Rosado, there are 858s that are natural. There are 858s that are Maduro. But if you can ever find the ones that are 858 Rosado, it is completely underpriced and undervalued. Ridiculous good cigar. Okay. So Jim got himself the La Bijou, probably one of my favorites of the My Father lineup. And I'm okay with saying I think it's very, very close to being their best cigar that they've ever produced. If it's not their best cigar, then there's not very much that's past it. Okay, just saying. Now, the wild boar on the band, that is the Jamon, Jamon, which that is ridiculous cheap for the cigar that you get. Made by Plasencia. Plasencia makes almost all the tobacco for all the rollers, period. It's stupid how freaking good that cigar is. The only two cigar manufacturers on the planet that do not use Plasencia tobacco somewhere in the making of their cigars. LFD, La Flor Dominicana, and Padron. Padron owns all their own farms. La Flor Dominicana owns all their farms. Everybody else will buy certain lots from various different producers, and all of the ones who are out there buying do purchase from Plasencia. It's a hellaciously horrible name, but it's a family name, so it to me it just means that it's a great cigar. Including, there's an island out on Lake Nicaragua, volcanic, 2 volcanoes. There's a chunk of land in between those 2 volcanoes that is perfect for growing tobacco. And Plasencia owns that whole chunk of land. Nobody else can even produce that without Plasencia saying, okay, you can have some of ours. So, yeah. The Jamon, stupid good. And, okay, it comes in like an old school coffee can. Yes, you heard me right. Not in a box, but a coffee can. It'll remind you of a C&D tin. It's got a pull top and everything. And a little plastic lid to go back onto it. They're about $60 for a can. And you get 12 of them in there. I would love to tell somebody that all the great cigars out there have to be some sort of monster price. But I've had too many Jamons. I can't say that. I mean, it's a great cigar for a bargain basement price when you start looking at what the can cost is. $5 a stick. That's really hard to beat when you think about it. Oh, curly heads are good. You know, $3 a stick, not a bad stick. In the box. Of course, there's not much Fuente produces that I don't tend to enjoy one way or the other. Only thing I didn't like about Fuente is they never put barcodes on any of their stuff for the longest time. So like you see the plastic wrapper here, well, there's a barcode. Pretty nice. Fuente, for the longest time, did not put a barcode on any of their stuff. So you'd get a shipment of Fuente in, and you'd spend hours putting your own little privatized barcode so it could scan through at prices. They did finally start doing that before I stopped working for the cigar shop. But at first, it was just... You'd go through reams of pricing. Well, we'd use those little square QR codes. But I'd see Fuente come in and I'd have a ribbon of those little square barcodes printed that, 15, 16 feet long. And there's easily one every inch. You're just, damn it. I missed a spot. Tell you what, that's one of the cool things about lighting a cigar while doing a live stream. I can look at the screen and I can go, oh yeah, it looks right, it looks right. And sometimes I even miss a spot. No big deal, it's just the way it happens to be. And in case anybody's interested, I am going to drink beer today. I'm not going to call it a good beer, because to my taste buds, it is not. But Tanuki IPA. I've never been a fan of IPAs. But either my wife will make that bread, or I will finish this stuff off before it goes stale in the fridge. One a week. It's about the best I can do. Finishing touches on Christmas exterior illuminations. Jim, I haven't even started yet. Howdy, Paul. Great to see you, sir. But yes, Jim, be careful, and if there's a ladder involved, try to make sure that there is at least somebody out there to steady it. Too many damn ladder incidences this time of year end up in the hospital. And with COVID going like crazy, I don't think you really want to be in the hospital where all the sick people are. Just a thought. And, we kind of like having you around. So, you be careful. Extremely. Oh, yeah. Tastes like grapefruit. How do people like IPA? Ugh. So anyways, howdy Paul, great to see you, sir. Hopefully you are doing well. We're looking forward to seeing Sharon. She normally joins you on here, so I'm always looking forward to seeing her as well. Hopefully that doesn't come out as stalkery. And if it does, well, it's me we're talking about. I say wrong things all the time. I mean, I literally say wrong things all the time. And I get away with it, mostly because, well, it's me. People kind of expect it of me. Paul, go find the person in Britain that thought that IPA would be a good idea for beer and slap the hell out of them for me, please. Please. Ugh. I think I've described why an India Pale Ale, an IPA, is called an India Pale Ale a few times. Because you put a keg of it on a wooden sailing ship and you sail it all the way around Africa over to India, and by the time it got there, it would be spoiled. And somebody came up with the good idea of dumping a crap ton of hops into a beer, and that's how IPA became an IPA, because it was still being shipped all the way around to India. Paul, I figure you're a whole lot closer to that guy, whoever he is, than I am. No, I'm fairly certain that, being that the Suez Canal was created over 150 years ago, and there was no option for sailing through the Suez Canal with beer back when there was an IPA invented, I'm fairly certain that that guy has already gone and passed. More's the pity. Todd, Guinness is doable year round. I mean, it would take somebody that would hang out in the Air Force for like 20 plus years to actually think that this stuff is good. Then again, maybe Jim won't even agree to that statement. It's not bad. It just, that first gulp is like, ugh. And I've never liked an IPA. Give me a Newcastle Brown any day. Howdy, Dave. Oh, thank God there is somebody who has not caved to the pressure of mass society saying that IPA is the best thing on the planet or whatever. I appreciate that statement, Dave. And Jim, well, you know, I had to poke fun at you, maybe, sort of, kind of. Oh, yeah, well, Paul, that's even worse. IPA mixed with lemonade. Let me explain that one. I have this on good authority because I studied it. Beer mixed with lemonade is called a shandy. I don't know where it originated, the name shandy, from, but Jim, if you're saying hipsters made IPA popular, well, don't worry, they also brought back patchouli. It's just another thing that should go away. But there it is. But as far as shandies go, Huva Ilta. Oh, God. You hit me with more than I understand there, Boris, and that's okay. Huva Ilta, Boris. Great to see you, sir. Drinking vodka cranberry. Hey, it's a pink drink, but it tastes better than this. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, the shandy, it originated because there was some guy over in this place that was called Germany. And he started tearing up the European countryside, left, right, sideways. And supplies were becoming in higher demand, and the places that would serve alcoholic beverages tried to save more of the alcohol for the outgoing or ready to fight troops. Whether they were British or French that were in Britain, or Irish, American, yeah, people from all over. But anyways, in an effort to save more of the alcohol for those troops that were fighting for the free world against a guy named Hitler, they started mixing beer with lemonade for the ladies. Now, look, vodka cranberry, it's a pink drink, but it's vodka, and something that's supposed to help get rid of kidney stones. Cranberry, okay, I can handle a pink drink, but a shandy is basically, it's a lady's drink, and of specifically a certain type of ladies. Not saying that I have a problem with those type of ladies. But they were hanging out in bars on a fairly regular basis and drinking enough of this thing called shandy to actually make it something that was well enough known. But anyways, I'm sure y'all see the point there. Guinness with a splash of no. I mean, I guess if you like black currant juice, I mean, I'm not going to tell you no. Paul, quite honestly, as far as the people go, I like most of the Russians. White and black Russians, as far as the drinks, I mean, it's fine. Howdy, Steve. Great to see you, sir. Dave, you go, sir. Way to wear that towel. Odie, how you doing, sir? Odie, there is no late or on time or anything. This is just hanging out. And hopefully we're saving everybody a little bit of cash, because later this evening when Jay Mouton goes live, you might want to sprinkle a little of that cash around. Something that will not be seen physically on the auction tonight, but should go out in the auction, is coming from this guy named Martin. Y'all might have seen him. He does some sort of crazy dad joke heavy Friday night show that invites people to troll him on a regular basis. But he's given out, well, he's shipping to Jay Mouton, should be there tomorrow morning, a 8-ounce bag of Penzance. Now, I got him to admit to it last night, so I know that it's going. But it's not going to show up until tomorrow morning, so you're not going to be able to see it. Todd, no, I'm not talking about streetwalkers. I'm talking about bar whores. They're completely different. Just saying. Bar whore just wants you to buy them enough drinks that they get drunk enough that you actually look decent enough that having sex with you isn't that bad of a deal. Streetwalkers are completely different. Just saying. And I do not think the Armenian Piper will buy everything. Last time that Jay Mouton did a charity, now he did it for Don Lamont, and he allowed all of the stuff to go to the people. And then he came in last second and he said, you know what? I am going to match your total that you've taken in right now and drop you off a little bit extra to cover shipping. Now, I don't know who that guy is, but there are two ways he could go. He could buy everything and then just donate it back. He could buy everything, donate it back to Jay Mouton, and make Jay Mouton just auction it off all over again. There's a whole lot of ways that he could go about it, and I'm kind of waiting to see what happens, really. It's going to be really very interesting. Oh, Boris is saying snake bite. You can get it in some UK bars, but it's kind of hard to find. And Dave, you're right. Bar whores are free after you buy them enough alcohol to get them out of there. So they're really not free. Don't blame me for showing you the proof of that. Oh, but Todd, it's not actually the same thing. Bar whores will sleep with you because you bought them a shit ton of alcohol. Streetwalkers are only sleeping with you because you paid for a piece of ass. One is legal in all 50 states. One is not legal in all 50 states, but some states. For lists of which states those are, I would suggest talking to Jim. Not that he would know which states those are, but I'm fairly certain he lives pretty close to the mecca of those places where those people are more or less allowed. No big deal. I'm not pointing fingers and I'm not casting shade. I will tell you that a lot of those ladies of ill repute decided to move from in and around a certain place that is home of the Raiders at this point in time to wherever the Super Bowl happens to be, because there tends to be a lot of money being thrown around wherever the Super Bowl is. And then when the Super Bowl's over, they move right on back to that certain town out in the middle of the desert. Well, Dave, you're right about that statement. Sometimes you only have to buy that last drink. Sometimes you don't even have to really too much worry about which one is the last drink. Sometimes they just want breakfast. You might be able to convince them to walk out before that first drink. hey, let's go catch dinner. And maybe tomorrow breakfast. Only thing I know for certain is that walking up to them and licking your eyebrows tends to work. IHOP, Waffle House. If you've got a 24-hour Denny's, there used to be a place called Kettle that was 24 hours. Okay, Jim. I mean, there is small provisionary things that go along with it, but they will make house calls. And from the couple of times that I have been in Las Vegas, I will tell you that if you are walking by anybody in Las Vegas who is sitting out there and smacking a sheaf of papers, they're trying to get you to look at them so that they can hand you a list of phone numbers, you know, who you going to call, nut busters, or whatever it is. Well, Dave, if Waffle House is too good for them, I don't want them anyway. You kind of want those bad girls, right? Just saying. If that's what you're hunting down in such wild situations. And yes, Martin, I know some of this conversation is definitely going to end up as a soundbite. I don't care. And I'm not saying anything that Holly hasn't already heard me say before. So, whatever. Oh, by the way, this beer is made by Back Pew Brewing. I've had some Back Pew Brewing that I actually really enjoy. Not their IPA, but there's some other labels out there that I do really enjoy. But Holly wanted to make a bread that was a rosemary Havarti, and it called for an IPA. And I was just like, ugh. But the only way I can get an IPA around these parts is by either paying $8 for a 6-pack or $2.99 for a single. I can stomach it, I just don't prefer it. But for those of you who do not care for an IPA, I would suggest contacting Dave, aka OBX Piper, or Jim, aka Desert Pine. I hear both of them brew crap tons of beer. Well, Todd, I mean, I guess, you know, you could give a girl like that a donut and send them on their way. Problem is, then they'll start talking to their friends. And you'll have to leave town for the next time you want to pick up a, bar hope. Just saying. Bar hope. Jim, I didn't say who brewed more. I just said that between the two of y'all do brew quite well and quite often. I thought about brewing or distilling my own. The problem with distilling your own is you got to have a good recipe and you better not screw it up. And you kind of better know what in the hell you're doing. The problem with brewing your own is the one time I tried it, I really must have screwed something up because it came out flat, very alcoholic, but flat. Oh. I'm no good at brewing beer. I tried it. I just can't seem to get the knack of it. Cannot get that crap to carbonate. Obviously it's my problem. Oh, come on, Chad. You can't say it like that. Howdy, Chad. How you doing today, brother? Are you back from vacation yet, or are you still taking vacation? And it's fine either way. It's not a problem. I plan to be on for a full cigar or until the light fades to the point where I can't do very much about it anymore, which would be 5:30. So whichever comes second or first, as it may be, the light will take me out first. Just saying. Come on, Dave. You know, everybody knows Chad. He's been just hanging around since Florida had that problem. Now I'm picking on Chad. That's horrible. Shouldn't be doing such things. I know. I'm sorry, Chad. I apologize. Well, Dave, I would say that he's a guy with a great beard, but everybody compared to me has a great beard. Except for, I guess, Kilted Piper Steve and Andrew Sirigliano. Pretty much all the rest of y'all have some sort of hair on their chin. Wait. No, Briar Blues doesn't have any right now either. He's going with the shaved chin look. Todd, I am fairly certain that Dave is just toying. Just playing around. Reminding Chad that we miss him. At least I believe that's what he's doing. Chad, it's true, we do miss you. Of course, he's probably gone because I was up at 11 and now I'm down to 7. Whatever. Of course, YouTube might be canceling this live stream as I'm talking. Hell, I don't know. Wouldn't be the first time they tried to piss me off. Won't be the last either. So, hey, weather here is great. 80 degrees, 83 degrees today. Woo! Damn. Chad throwing bombs. Oh no. Todd is also in the hair-free chin zone. It's all right. I'm staving off of growing anything here on the ugly mug until till the beginning of the year. It's not that I'm good at shaving or that I'm bad at shaving, just that it makes it a whole lot easier for me to figure out how fast I can grow a semblance of a beard. If I have a definite date that was the last day I shaved until the next time I shave. And in the sauna, wow. That's getting almost Nashville Mafia-esque. Speaking of which, bowl call. Hey, we've been on here a while. If you feel like saying what you're smoking and what you're smoking it in, go ahead. If you don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Of course, if you don't, then I'll start telling the Nashville Mafia that y'all don't live up to the rules of bowl call, and therefore I'll just be like, making you an offer you just can't refuse. That is true, Boris. Mike is still sporting a mustache. That's another piece of facial hair I can't grow, at least not well. I definitely am not going to have Sam Elliott's mustache. Not having it. Howdy, Cedric. How are you doing today? Great to see you, sir. Probably some Solani here in a little bit. Very nice, Boris. Very nice. Howdy, Steph. Great to see you, ma'am. Is work over for the day? Hopefully your week is done. Steph likes to tune in for the ride home. Do you need to vent about it, Steph? It's okay. We're here for you. You don't have to, don't get me wrong, but... And Steph, if you happen to be driving, Boris said, Huva ilta jahaiva vikon lopua. And I don't understand any of it, but... Well, I do understand good evening. Oh, no, Todd. I can't have facial hair until the first of the year. And then, of course, I'm going to be growing my own in the hopes that Beard Nicholas will soon be there. It would only take me 5 years to grow what Chad can grow in a month. Or Boris, or pretty much any of y'all. Howdy, Skip. Great to see you, sir. Oh, that's right. I haven't been called Donaldo in forever. That's because my name doesn't directly translate into Spanish. Or French, funny enough. Anyways, Boris is asking about your weekend. there, Steph. Hopefully it's going well. Howdy, Sharon. Great to see you, ma'am. Great to see all of y'all today. Now I know 10 minutes from now I'm going to be technically on Chad time. I'm still filling in. He hasn't said that he's taken back over his spot yet. And that's okay. A 3-hour show is an extensive show. Well, if you call it a show. A 3-hour period of smoking and chatting. It gets extensive. I can understand why you're burned out. It is more than I would want to do on a regular basis. Sharon, I hope you are doing well today as well. Hopefully your knee is feeling better. And my real hope is that it continues to feel better every day. Just saying. Steph, yes, it's effing 75 on the north side. It's effing 83 down here on the south. Ugh. Chad has probably retired. Oh, well, Chad, if you start feeling the urge to do live chats again, I would not have a problem opening up some space throughout my show or whatever. We miss the Chad. Oh, not a problem, Todd. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, Skip. It's like 98% humidity and not a drop of rain. Gray skies, horrible, yucky film of wetness on everything, and just is not going to rain. Ooh, congrats, Skip. Glad to hear that you just got hired on full time. What are you going to be doing? Good old 60 degrees. Man, I miss 60. That's where I start wearing the Steph hat. Oh, thanks for the slap down there, Boris. I appreciate it. Warm day. -1 degree Celsius. Oh, cool. Same company. Well, very nice. Worked your way into a full-time position there. And that's always a good thing. Not a problem, Sharon. I'm just glad that it is getting better. 112 degrees Fahrenheit in the OBX brewery and rising. Well, that's a good thing because it's got to get up to 212 for it to boil. You can't brew if you can't boil. Just saying. I mean, I guess you could brew, but it would not be as good of a brew. Now, Skip, does that mean that you're going to be going out to every little body of water that they can find that they want to basically figure out how deep it goes and what the bottom looks like? Or are you going to get to actually do some offshore stuff again that will unfortunately take you away from Steph for several days at a time. Not that either answer is wrong. Look, a job's a job is a job. I took a job one time that quite literally, while Holly was living here in the Houston area, they had me up in Weatherford. 5-hour trip one way. I got to see her 65 days out of a 12-month span. And some of those were more like, hey, babe, I'm coming through town. Are you open for having lunch? And we'll call that a day. Though I did one time take a side trip back from Arkansas that dropped me down through Louisiana so that I could come through I-10 so that I could come home for a weekend after not seeing her for 2 months. Just one of those things. Okay. There the sauna. There with Chad's picture. 8x10. Glossy. Framed under glass. With its own little windshield wiper for when it gets hot and steamy in the sauna. We know, we know. Oh, cool. So he still gets to do the offshore stuff, but he gets to work in the warehouse too. That's always a good thing. But Dave, are you sure it's his picture? I don't judge. I'm not judging. I'm not. Just like I wasn't judging those streetwalkers or bar whores. I'm not judging. Nothing to judge here. This is I'll offend you maybe, but I'm not going to judge you. Personally, I've been having a pretty good day. Except for the fact that I think I'm passing a very tiny kidney stone. By very tiny, I mean that it's like every couple of 5 minutes or so, it just slips a little bit. And it's not really all that painful, but that little slip is enough to make you go, ooh. Oh, don't be a big one. Don't be a big one. Howdy, Chip. Great to see you, sir. Hopefully you're doing well. School bus. That poor kid that gets off that school bus. From September until like a week ago, they have been coming all the way here. The only kid that gets off of that school bus on this whole street, one kid, would get off here in front of my house and walk 8 houses back the other direction. About a week ago, I was standing out there doing some stuff out by the street. When the school bus passed up by, I was And I asked the kid, why don't you get the school bus to stop 8 houses back at your house? And the bus driver kind of looked at me like, oh, I'm kind of an ass, huh? I didn't call out the bus driver for doing their job as they were instructed to, but if it's the only kid getting off the bus on a whole street and there's an open spot right in front of their house, I don't see why you're making them walk the 8 extra. And he's physically fit. He's like a freshman, but he's on the basketball team, and I think I saw him with a tennis racket at one point in time. It's not like he actually needs to do the extra walking, but he just shrugged his shoulders like, man, I don't complain, and started walking back towards his house. And now the bus stops at his house. It's pretty cool. Try to help the kid out. And it's not like he was stopping anywhere between my house and his house so that he could go talk to a girl. All the girls on this street are either much older than him or go to a different school because they're just younger enough than him that they do not ride the same bus as him yet. Though next year, maybe the year after, 2 or 3 years tops, there's a little girl that lives across the street. She's kind of cute. If he hangs out long enough, he might be walking around with her. No big deal. I live in a great community. People move in, they raise their kids. As soon as their kids graduate high school, they move out to the hill country of nowhere in the middle of nowhere, Texas. It's like a revolving door the last couple of years. Not that I blame them. You can't get a good school out there in Nowheresville, Central Texas that has a high graduation rate and really has a curriculum that tends to put people into college. This little community tends to put about 85% of their kids into college, and that's why a lot of people move here. Odie, unfortunately, there is no way I could possibly give you James Stumbo's email address because he doesn't have an email address. But if you have Facebook Messenger, go ahead and say so. I'll send you or shoot me an email, and I will share his Facebook Messenger with you that way. I don't like giving out people's specific without their specifically express permission. But knowing who you are, and I know you have my email address. If not, we'll just throw it up right there. Remember, there's the number 4 at the very beginning of that. And just shoot me a quick message, even if it just says, hey, and that's it. I'll understand exactly what it's in reference to, and I will get that to you. Uh, Again, it's not because I don't. It's not because I think you would do something wrong with it. It's just because if somebody came on here and they decided to be a pest, if they go to my email address and they're a pest to me, yeah, they don't much do that very often. It is what it is. But that way I can forward to you James's contact information without it being just out there in the ether for anybody to get to. And Steph, if you do happen to go to Kentucky, you'll have to let me know. I'll have to figure out something that I can get for Mr. Stumbo. All right, not a problem. Yeah, if you want me to pass your phone number on to him, go ahead and just shoot it to me in an email, because I can real quick cut, paste, and off it'll go, and that will at least make sure that everything gets together there. And since I personally would not be doing any kind of Facebook my own self, but my son in the Air Force, when he's overseas, which has happened twice already, he has informed me that Facebook Messenger does not use up his data, other than exactly like a text message would, which is nothing compared to all the other apps, this, that, and the other, that eat data left, right, and sideways, and then you get charged overseas rates, and it goes ridiculous. So Facebook Messenger was a good app for me and him to stay on, just because we still connect that way. By the way, this one goes out to Jim. I forgot to tell you, Jim, my son made Staff Sergeant back in September. He's still climbing the ladder. Steph, I'm fairly certain that a lot of people would like to know if this was a movie. The new tales of Stumbo and Clyde, or Steph and Stumbo. Jim, I'll let him know you said so. I figure it's not bad for him going in completely bottom level zero and progressing to this point. And I don't know how fast people can go up in rank in the Air Force, but it seems like it was a whole lot faster than what I remember from the Army. Of course, different MOS, and that might have been some of my issue. It's the OnlyFans page. That Skip's OnlyFans is worse. By the way, Steve, so I can go ahead and I can say it out there for everybody, just in case they read my comment on your particular video or not from earlier today. I don't mind people yanking my chain. It's fine. It just shows that you care. In case y'all are wondering, you have to go back 2 videos worth and see what that's about. I just didn't want to see you ruin perfectly good cigars there, because it is what it is. Jim, I'm fairly certain you already know that. Oh, and Steve, just in case you're wondering, I am smoking the La Gloria Cubana Series R. It's been smoking fairly well since, well, over an hour now, so, or right about an hour. I forgot when I exactly lit it. It's fine. Well, Steph, you could make bank just playing with Skip's beard on your OnlyFans page. Just saying. Come on, Boris, you have fans. And Jim, I know Jim has fans. Me, I just have people that feel like, hey, there's really not a whole lot else for me to be doing while I'm waiting for the next person to show up. I appreciate all of you, though. I do appreciate it. Oh, yeah. If you want everything that you could possibly get, quite literally, everything you could possibly get, what you need is to have one of those Santa Claus beards, some huskies, and some adorable cats doing crappy things. Those 3 things with the right hashtags, guaranteed you will have millions of hits by the end of tomorrow. In a ridiculous form and fashion. Holly likes watching this one channel where these people have decided to put stupid voices to cats. There's 3 of them. One of them, named Tigger, is basically a drunk. He's always asking for a beer. I don't know what channel it is. Don't ask me. But they've got millions of views. Dave's president of the Boris and Jim fan club. And Jim says he has a fan, but they only use it in the summertime. Unlike Texas, here in the Houston area, we run the fan 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Actually, only 364. One day a year we turn them off just to clean them. Takes about all day because they get filthy, but they never stop going for the rest of the year. Dave, I do not know who Penny the cat is, but it's possible you recognize the reference to some cat named Tigger who likes beer. But yeah, for whatever reason, husky dogs, and we're not talking about chunky dogs, we're talking about like husky, like the one that is named Zeus on the Stumbo show. Steve, if you've got to go and get in that bunker, do not wait around long enough to say bye. Just give the old Irish goodbye and get yourself in cover. It is not worth fighting Mother Nature. She always wins. And for those people that say, oh, no, she doesn't, she normally then turns around and says, hold my beer. Well, Dave, they are a vocal breed of dog, and they've got a cuteness factor, I guess, that people love them. So it's like, It is one of the most popular breeds of dog at this present point in time. And I know of at least 3 channels on YouTube that have come across my feed, and I have no idea why. But one is something the stunt dog or something like that. I don't know. Skip had a Samoyed that was super husky. Super husky? Or husky plus a little. Wow. Amazon Prime truck flew past my house and is now backing up down the street. Beep, 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 beep. And then they're going to stop over here and maybe unload something. It could be to me. Could be to the house next door. Could be to the people across the street. I don't know. We'll find out. Reed Bender, howdy sir. Great to see you. Hopefully everything's going well. Dave, I like Rottweilers. Mostly because nobody screws with you while you're walking a Rottweiler. I don't know why. Rottweilers that are well trained, great dogs. Well, I think having a Husky or a Samoyed here in the Houston area is right there next to animal abuse. There's no way it gets cold enough here for them to ever even go outside. And trying to air condition your house down to cold enough that they're comfortable would cost you an arm and a leg. And as far as an Alaskan Malamute, good Lord. Those things get big enough you could strap a saddle to them and ask Steve if he's willing to tame it. I mean, I realize Steve rode bulls, but some of those Malamutes get fairly large. Look, Steve, I wasn't picking on yous. Skip, I wasn't picking on you either. I'm just saying it would be damn near like animal abuse to have one down here in this area. I mean, 3 whole days a year where it's actually cold enough for them to go outside. And it's not 3 consecutive days. It's all broke up. See, Steph, your circles at one point in time were like this, but they were offset a little bit until finally they came together. And you've been happy ever since. That's the best part. At least it is to me. Oh, okay, not a problem, Skip. Just being honest. I didn't want you to feel like I was picking on you by that statement. Ah, yes, the Wiener Dog Winter Nationals. Here in Houston, they have that too. They had that. There used to be a dog track not too far from here. Used to go to the Wiener Dog Winter Nationals every year. And they would gladly offer you 50-cent beer and 50-cent hot dogs. So you could drink all you wanted and fill up on food, and you still didn't spend $20. Yes, Boris, that's one of those interesting dog breeds that are really truly bred for real Arctic conditions. I couldn't do it. And I know you're talking about negative 20 Celsius. Kind of reminds me of that Disney movie, 8 Below, where the dogs got left in Antarctica. Actually, a decent movie. And me, I'm a dog fan, but here I am living with all these cats. You know, my oldest cat's 18 years old. As a Siamese, that's ridiculous. Most Siamese don't last longer than about 12 years, for whatever reason. He's 18. And will talk your ear off. Oh my God. Well, Boris, for this dog, it would matter. -20, you ain't even getting me to go outside. I will look at that stuff and go, nope, not happening. That's what got me to quit going offshore. I was working on the rigs in the Gulf of Mexico, and then they started shipping me out to Alaska. The pay was better if you went to Alaska. Problem is, then they'd ship you there in the middle of winter, and you can't do a damn thing. It was cold in the barracks. Just did not matter where you went. It never got warm. Steph, I was thinking that you saying 75 was probably a little off. It's not normally 6 degrees of separation between South Houston and North Houston, unless a cold front is coming through and it's dropping that way from north to south. But yeah, it's 83 degrees here on the south side of town. Yeah. It's beginning to feel a lot like summer. But not that girl I dated, just, you know, the season. Odie, now all you need is a donkey. That way you can walk up and you can biblically ask them to hold your cock while you scratch your ass. That's the way it's written in the Bible, folks, just so nobody gets upset by that particular statement. Come on, Odie, that was funny. You're allowed to laugh. It's perfectly okay. Boris, 81 degrees is not hot when you compare it to what temperatures were like in August. You could feel steam rising from the concrete just by looking at it. And that's the funny thing I keep getting. People tell me I couldn't handle the cold. I couldn't handle the cold. Well, you know what? To some extent, you're right. But I can put on enough clothes that I can handle the cold. You're welcome, Odie. Not a problem. I can see it now. Odie is looking at the internet right now as we speak. Miniature donkeys for sale. Miniature donkeys for sale. But back to my theory of heat and cold. You can only take so much of your clothes off when it gets to be August and you cannot handle the heat. But I can always add another layer if I can't handle the cold. Eventually I can get to the point where obviously I can't fit through the door, so therefore I can handle the cold right fine from right here inside the house. Just saying. Odie's going to be walking his donkey and his rooster down the street so he can get some Skyline chili. News at 11. $45. Howdy, sir. Great to see you. Yeah. If you take off enough clothes, you can very, very easily get arrested. It's pretty much the same here in Houston. They don't much go for you walking around with no clothes on. That's right. Come to Tailgating, a show where we talk about anything and everything, because you never know where it's going to go. How much y'all want to bet that Martin's going to find that statement about hold my cock while I scratch my ass and add it over to his sound bites? Go ahead, Martin. It's a biblical statement. That's all I'll tell people. It's a biblical statement. Hey, Steph, so did Bill Clinton. One of the funniest things I ever heard from one of the locals in Little Rock. I flew in to do some boiler inspections, and it's been a while back, but I flew in there. And guy was asking me if I drove in or flew in. I flew in. He's like, so how'd you like Hillbilly Airport? Hillbilly? It is Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport. And they shortened it and switched it so that it's Hillbilly Airport. That's the local there in Arkansas. What do you want me to say? Yes, Jim, somebody did say naked. That just means your red nakedness is showing through, Jim. Yeah, Odie. There's going to be people going like, really? Did he say that crap? And, you know, all of y'all can verify. Yeah, he actually said it. That is not edited, other than he'll put some bleeps in there. Oy vey, it looks like I'm about to get a rather large size package. Just a second. Yep, coming in. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. No problem. You have a good one. Large size package. What can Brown do to you? Just one of the other reasons why I wait out here. Damn, Steph, throwing bombs. Woo! Oh, not a problem, Steve. Great to see that those sticks did get into the humidor. Yep, and Steve's going for the auction, so y'all better be ready. That's right, Jim. I've got a large package. It's one of the few reasons why Holly keeps me around. Howdy, Dan. Great to see you. Skip on aisle Steph. Skip on aisle Steph. Not a problem, Dan. Heck, for me, I missed most of the lives this week too, because with the crazy weather we've been having here in this part of Texas, I did not feel well on Monday and Tuesday, so I just like, I'm fucking calling it a night. Did not feel good. Slept. Felt better. I missed Stumbo's show, and then, well, I guess it was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Didn't feel good at all. But I knew it was just allergies. What are you going to do? If your allergies are kicking to the point where your nose is steadily running, if you don't feel well, you don't feel well. That's all I can say about it. Luckily, Skip has gone to full-time employment, and he's at the warehouse, so he can handle your large package there, Steph. That's his job description now. I will say I did make up for missing the live edition of Stumbo's show by watching it in replay. Well, I wanted to see the interviews, both of them, so I did. I mean, I called out Dingus, so I kind of had to watch that one. And who doesn't like hearing from Jay Mouton? I mean, my interview was a bomb completely. It fell off a cliff. No video feed. We might redo it at some point. in here. Last time I had this many people in here, I was eating some spicy peanuts and trying to keep my head from being the color of these bricks. I failed. But the other side of this is I did more than most. I think it's funny that if you go on YouTube and you start watching the Death Nuts Challenge, a lot of people will pick one peanut and eat one peanut out of that package. And there I was dumping the whole thing in. One peanut, I could do the whole Death Nuts Challenge, no big deal. Dumping the whole thing in, that was something else entirely. I like spicy food, but wow, I could feel my ears sizzling. Dan, you don't have to convince me that I was the man of many colors. It was awesome. But not something I would suggest just for those people that say, oh, come on, how hot could it be? It'd be damn hot. Now, in answer to those people who want to say, do I feel like I could have made it through the whole challenge? Yes, I could have made it through the whole challenge. Do I want to? No. Will I try it again? Probably not. It was painful. It was quite painful. Nashville, hello. By the way, now that we're hearing from the Nashville Mafia, don't worry, I don't need a tumbler to water down my alcohol. Also, have you contacted everybody you know? Talking to all of you. Because you need to contact everybody you know. And December 22nd, we need to blow up the Nashville Mafia show. Whether they smoke or not, everybody needs to show up. We need to overload their whole server so that that show is completely epic, and John has to give away that Phil Rivera pipe. Hopefully to me. I don't ever win these things. Don't worry. It's not going to be me. I'm going to be there, but it won't be me. And yes, to the Nashville Mafia, I did watch half of your Nashville Mafia 3-hour show from this week. I have not finished it. I will get to finishing that at some point. Probably not this evening, but at some point I will get to finishing that. And it will happen before Wednesday. That way I will not miss the next one. But it just happened to be that it happened to be at the same time as Holly's birthday. And there's this thing called body parts that I don't want removed. And lead poisoning 9mm style that I don't want to experience. Oh, great, Willie. That is awesome. Okay, I know Willie got the Grupo de Maestros. It's Connecticut with a Maduro cap. Now I'm going to give you a piece of advice here on that Maduro cap. Do not cut the whole Maduro cap. Just get a hole in that Maduro big enough to smoke through. The jacket is very thin on that cigar, and that Maduro cap being a little thicker that cigar is made that way so that you can get a good cut without destroying the wrapper. And I wanted to make sure that you knew about that before you decided to smoke it. Now, the Lancero, it is fantastic, but you're not going to be able to punch it. If you will just barely clip off that pigtail, it should be just fine. And yes, using a punch on that particular Connecticut is definitely the way to go. Uh-oh. Wow. So soon on the Nashville Mafia, they will be announcing how Odie is giving away a year's worth of lawn care that his guys will fly to your location weekly and take care of all of your landscaping needs. That is such a good thing that you put out there, Willie. Glad to know that that's happening, that you and Odie have agreed on that. I figure if it's a 5-day, 4-night excursion on the water for Charlie, if he screwed up just a little, then a year's supply worth of bourbon should be, a year's supply worth of landscaping, at least. Can't believe Odie was so generous to offer that. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Odie, dead man? No. Just destroyed by public opinion. Free snow removal for Florida residents only. Awesome. Y'all all know that Willie's not giving away a year's supply worth of bourbon. And I don't think even Odie can say that he has a year's supply worth of bourbon if it was me he was having to supply. I can drink some damn bourbon. I've proven it before, though I try not to be that much of an alcoholic anymore. Of course, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a drunk. Alcoholics are quitters. I have no intentions of quitting. But, yes. I have definitely found that offering statements like that against the Nashville Mafia accounts tends to be hazardous to one's pocketbook in extreme fashion. I feel bad for Neptune having to be in witness protection that way. Oh, freaking awesome. Willie's going to be on the Stumbo Show. Woohoo! Y'all heard it here. Well, I'm not going to say first, but you heard it here. Now, I'm going to tell you, for anybody who thinks that the Gloria Cubana Series R is a BS stick, y'all realize this is a full 2 hours that it's going to run. Solid. If you want to take your time and enjoy a good cigar, sometimes you just need a big enough cigar that you can really take your time and enjoy it. Uh-oh. We're going to have a Slap Happy New Year over on Martin's channel on January 3rd. Willie, is that live and breaking news? Is that a first statement here on the tailgating show? Oh, Willie, about the Rose of Sharon, and I'm going to real quick repeat this, just this one time. If you've been smoking earlier in the day, you don't really want to go and get after that Rose of Sharon. The flavors are light, but there's a lot of flavor in that. And I don't want you to miss out on the flavor. If you've been smoking previously, it takes too much work to cleanse your palate enough for, let's say, Captain Black Grape to disappear enough that you're really going to be able to taste that Rose of Sharon. So I'm just trying to make sure that you don't screw that up for your own self. I already know this, and I've already experienced this. I just don't want you to be suckered in and think, oh yeah, it's a cigar. It's a great cigar. Fantastic cigar. But it needs to be the first smoke of the day. And I think it really shines best with coffee, personally. I have tried it with bourbon and scotch and various others, and it's good. It's still really good, but I think that it pairs best with coffee. So if you're not smoking that on a Nashville Mafia live feed, I'm not going to be upset by that statement at all. It's one of those that I would definitely wake up on a Saturday morning and drink some coffee and enjoy the hell out of it. Just saying. Oh, Odie's admitting to the fact that he has more bourbon in his cellar than most alcohol stores in his particular area. Got a few in Texas that might put your cellar to shame there, Odie, but I'm not going to tell you which ones those are. There's a liquor store in downtown Houston that they pretty much have everything. Unless they can't get it, and then it's just not on the shelves, but they've got spots on the shelves for it. Oh, and Willie, kind of really happy that you ended up with the Connecticut's, because you tend to like a lighter smoke. I mean, there's some of the things that you smoke that are still heavier, but I've seen some cigars that are even considered light that still pack enough of a punch, nicotine speaking, that I don't feel that either one of those cigars are going to be horrible to you. But the flavors, at least, because you've said that you are not really a big cigar fan, I think you'll still be able to enjoy them. Yeah, Odie, are there any Texas distillers that attract your attention? Like Yellow Rose Distillery here in Houston. One of the only reasons to visit Austin would be Tito's. They do vodka. Texas vodka, are you kidding me? Yeah. But really good Texas vodka. Ridiculously good Texas vodka. If you like vodka. I'm not even a vodka fan, and I kind of like their stuff. There's a place up in Waco that does a all blue corn, and I forgot what the name on the bottle is, but I know it's like $80 on a bottle. And I believe they are the only, seriously, only distiller that is doing bourbon out of all blue corn in their at least 51% corn mix. Dave, you're not lying about it. It'll knock you around a little bit. Well, Odie, there are some Texas bourbons that you might want to be aware of just in case. And Skip, I can't disagree with you there. But like Dave said, Tito's is crazy smooth. It's the moonshine of vodka. You're thinking everything's great, and then you stand up and you're like, oh, everything is not great. Boris, I do not know who the Whiskey Tribe guys are. So I'm not able to tell you at this point. But I will start looking for that. Like everything, I like to do research. I do a lot of research. Willie, you don't even like the clear tequila? You either, Skip? I mean, there's some really good clear tequila. I'm not going to name all of the labels that I thought were really good, but I know what the bottles look like. Dave, I'm right there with you. If I wanted to drink a pine tree, I think I would stick with an IPA. Unfortunately, that's what I stuck with today. Ugh. Well, I almost got into a whole crap ton of trouble with turkey on my birthday, my 21st birthday. I had a bad experience. Just say it. Odie is a bourbon snob. He has to actually have it say Kentucky bourbon. Some rums are good. Some rums, well, not so much. A lot of the bad a lot of the bad rums I've had were because the really cool glasses that came with it. Not these kind of glasses. That's right, Dan. It is juniper and not pine. And of course Jim would say there's nothing wrong with pine. What do you think Jim would say about pine? Other than, all pine is good. So, Dan, I'm not the only one that said, yeah, I'll take that craptastic bottle of rum because the glassware that comes with it is really cool. Good analogy, Dave. Very good analogy. There are some really good rums out there, though. Just most of the really good ones do not come with free bar glasses of any kind. One I remember drinking that was horrible to me was called Mount Gay Rum, but it came with a glass that would not tip over. It would roll around on a table because of the way it was shaped, but it would not tip over. Willie, Jägermeister is like the magical potion in a Disney box. You think it's going to turn you into a princess, but really it just doesn't. Skip, I really enjoy the gift set glasses too, but I try to stick with the bourbon gift set glasses. All right, that cigar has got to go down. How was it that Fluffy said it? You say Jaeger because it's the only alcohol in the world that makes you say its name really loud. Jaeger! Oh God, Odie, we could go on and on forever about Kentucky bourbon. It really is kind of that easy. Skip, I'm going to say Captain Black Grape probably pairs exceptionally well with Jägermeister. Jim, you don't really strike me as the kind that would go to a whining girls' night. I think it would probably get on your nerves. Well, Odie, you know I'm kind of a fan of Woodford Reserve. Skip likes Mount Gay, and Cedric likes Mad Dog 2020. Which, if General Mathis had decided to run for president in the year of 2020, that would have probably been his campaign slogan. Mad Dog 2020. Woo, Willie, that sounds like just the right kind of mark to make during the Mouton auction. Just saying. Bottle of Night Train. Come on now. Where's that Cisco? Boone's Farm. There we go. Skip, make sure you check out what Dan said. Gwaith and Hogarth Dark Flake or Peterson's Irish Flake with the Jaeger. Now, Boris, we ever get you here into the States where we can make sure we can find really good bourbon and rye, we will have to make sure that happens. Or if anybody is visiting from the States into Finland, y'all make sure to pack a couple of bottles, because most anything that you can get here in the States, Boris is really going to have a hard time getting in Finland. Imports and duty fees jack the prices way up. I can understand that. Well, Steph, the question there would be, which football players? Would it be European football, or would it be NFL style football? Well, Skip, the act of saying the word Jaeger is right there with the act of going. Oh, damn. Chad, I hope that you're not having a mainline NyQuil for any specific reason. Rittenhouse Straight Rye Whiskey said, will you be doing shots of Rittenhouse? Maybe it's just me, but that seems to be the only way to do Rittenhouse. And yes, you get women on enough any kind of alcohol, and they get, well, they get as foul as any junior high locker room. It's just the way it is. Well, Boris, get with me or Odie, and we will gladly help guide you if you're choosing to order through the German whiskey store. I just can't guarantee that they're going to have the selection that Odie or I am going to be suggesting. Jameson's good, Dave. Jameson's good. That is very true, Steph. Boris the Sleepless One might not be able to survive Texas winter. Too damn hot. We routinely have days that are still 80 degrees and we're still wondering what in the hell's happening.
85 today.
Yeah. According to my mother-in-law right now, she says 85. It just got there today. Dan, there's actually really good Canadian whiskeys out there. I mean, when you consider that Crown is more of a bourbon than Jack Daniels. Y'all call it the way you see it, but Crown is produced in the same exact manner under the same exact method as bourbon, where Jack Daniels is not bourbon, even though they're made in America and possibly could have, but then they would have to change their way of doing things. Damn. High five, Skip. So what you're saying, Steph, is that breath was not quite right. There's nothing wrong with Crown Royal. I think a lot of people go to Crown Royal because of availability, not realizing that basically it's bourbon, but because of it being made in Canada, it can't be called bourbon. I'm thinking I'm missing something there, Odie. Not sure what Dutch oven would mean in this situation. Had some popcorn earlier and got a damn hull stuck in my teeth. It's bugging the hell out of me. But look, I gotta get something to eat before the J Mouton auction starts. It's 5:09 right now. By the time I get two women to decide what they actually like to eat, it'll be closer to 7 than I actually like. Ooh, Boris throwing the bombs on the Crown Royal. It's alright, Boris. There's a lot of people out there that don't much care for the taste of Crown Royal. And Dan likes Gibson's on ice. I can't say that I've ever had Gibson's. There's a lot of brands out there that I haven't had, so I'm not going to try them. I'm not going to try and actually say that. Oh, okay. I got you, Odie. I understand. That's like rolling up the windows in your car and then hitting the lock button so that they can't be rolled down, and then ripping one off, making sure that everybody's sitting there just dying from it. Good times. Good times. Alright, so things we need to look forward to. One, I do not know if Matt, aka Glum Chum Piper, is coming on this evening. Quite often he does. Hopefully he will. I've got some need to finish up out here before I get completely out of light. Woo, Everclear! There you go, Ced. And, well, of course, I want to not be in bad situation with my wife when the J Mouton auction shows up, and then, of course, later when Martin's on. Oh, and Martin said he will be live streaming the J Mouton auction. For those who are completely out of money and just want to hang out and be able to chat without messing with the chat there in Mouton's auction. Well, Odie, that's what tailgates are supposed to be about. Having a good time, hanging out with friends and family. So, obviously we're doing all right today. But as per always, y'all try to remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can with that. And as per always, remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. I'd stay longer, but I want to eat too. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon. Odie, yes sir, hit me up, and I will get that number right over to James just as quickly as I can. Y'all take care, and I'll see you on J Mouton's auction later tonight. Bye for now.